Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watching is here with a special tropical update. We will not be talking about Tropical Storm Wanda or that tropical disturbance in the East Pacific in S93E. We had a completely different, as of about it was like 3:30 this morning, I found out that there's a model that's showing potentially three tropical systems developing in the Mediterranean Sea. Three tropical systems developing in the Mediterranean Sea in the next 10 days. So that requires a special update. Force 13 over in Force 13 Europe is actually giving it's an unofficial forecast, but they think it has a 0% chance in the next 48 hours, a 20% chance in the next 5 days. That's what they're saying. But yeah, we're gonna look at this model. I'm gonna talk about what we can be seeing. That's what that thumbnail is. That is from the weather. From the website called weather.us. If you want to join, also if you want to join the Hurricane Watch team, and actually be part of the team, you have to be a minimum age of 13 years of age. But you can also, there's basically a form you can fill out so we know how you can help us, what you can do to help the team. It's really, really helpful, so fill that out. I'll link it down there in the chat. So let's get on with this stream. We'll be talking about that 3 tropical disturbances there in the Mediterranean Sea. This is a very big deal. Let's get right on into it. This is pretty serious. So let's get right into this. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to chat, and I will answer them the best that I can while I am doing the stream at the same time. So, all right. So I do want to pull this up right quick. Observations. This one. But yeah, we will not be talking about Wanda, just so you know, and this tropical disturbance, the east disturbances here in the East Pacific. We will be talking about those at our next update. We'll mainly be talking about the systems here in the Mediterranean Sea throughout the entire day. Can we get Southern Europe? Oh, it's almost quite perfect. It's a little zoomed in way too much though, man. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this. We want to take a look because this could be pretty bad. I want to take a look at wind speed. This is going to be with the streamline, so we have an idea of what we're looking at here. As earlier this morning, they were estimating about 3, ladies and gentlemen, 3 tropical disturbances. Let's get right into this because this could certainly be something relatively bad here. So let's get right into it because I really want to talk about the possibility of a tropical disturbance here. This does appear to be that tropical system right here in this region, trying to develop down there, as you can clearly see right there. You kind of see the rotation here. Let me just zoom in this region right here. I believe this might be where it's at. Could be very wrong. It does appear to be very lopsided. A lot of wind coming in from the north here, coming in around here like this. Not very organized at all. But does appear to be bringing pretty strong wind gusts of excess of over 50 miles per hour. I think it does try to get more organized later. Really see it's a lot more rotational right here. There's a lot more, you can clearly see it's much more condensed and consolidated in an area instead of all the energy kind of sprawled on one side. It's a little bit more even, if you know what I mean. Oh wow. Is that another system? Is that the same one? I can never tell, you know? Look at that. These winds. Look how, see, it's like moving around. This could be, that could potentially be a pretty strong system. Very, very, does appear to be very well developed. 53 mile per hour sustained winds here. Now this again is in the southwestern Mediterranean Sea. Here's Africa over here. This way over here is Gibraltar. This is Spain. Over here would be Portugal. This is Italy. Up here is France. It does appear to move pretty far off to the west. Not far from the Mediterranean over here. I mean, from the Atlantic. And then, guys, you can see it does, in fact, make landfall there. Okay, so let's cause then we have another tropical disturbance that could also that could also develop near Italy. Alright, so that could also be a storm that we'll have to watch about. So multiple storms possibly developing. I don't know how far in the future we are at this point. We have like another storm that could still possibly develop. Here's the 12th. It's very hard to see it, but you can clearly see where these storms are developing. So, I mean, this could potentially be pretty bad for Italy also. Another tropical disturbance is expected to develop near Italy. School bus picking kids up in case you heard that. I don't actually see it. Let me check the chat because... So this is something we're definitely be watching here in the future. Because this could potentially be very, very bad. Certainly something bad here in the future that we're watching. Alright, so I do want to talk about... So that's what we're looking at here. The first tropical system might actually be already out there. It might be this cluster of thunderstorms right here. I don't exactly know. I can't actually say because I don't friggin' know everything. That's what we could be looking at, potential tropical system developing right there. It's something we got to watch out for. It's something we got to keep a close eye on. And certainly got to keep an eye on tropical disturbance developing out there. Let's see if this other system develops. I don't see it developing. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's that Italian storm. There she is. 47 mile per hour sustained winds in a very similar area of where Apollo was. Alright, right down there near the island of Sicily. Alright, so this is a storm we'll have to closely monitor here within the next several days. Again, right there, right off the coast. And it also, in terms of what we're seeing there with wind gusts, could easily be close to hurricane force. As some are showing, you know, look at that. It just developed so quickly. There it is, 57 mile per hour wind gust, a 71 mile per hour wind gust, 71, 67. So very strong tropical storm force wind gusts are possible with this other storm that will be approaching Italy here. This will be within the next 10 days. This is, as you can see, it shows here as of the 13th. And today's the 4th. That's only 9 days from now. 3 storms within that time period could certainly be a problem. That'll be Saturday, November 13th, 2021 at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So this could certainly be a problem that we'll have to be closely monitoring here in the future. So, again, this is a storm that we're certainly going to be watching here in the future. If anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to ask. So again, the first one we'll be watching is a storm in the southwest Caribbean Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and it could be producing tropical storm force winds for sure. Could certainly be a very bad system, absolutely for sure, bringing those tropical storm force storms and tropical storm conditions to portions of southwestern, or really northwestern Africa, maybe even portions of, I'm gonna say Morocco, but that's not the country of Morocco. It's farther north than Morocco. Let me pull up my maps. I can't remember. I don't know every country in Africa. Yeah, actually, it might be. It'll be more like Algeria will most likely be affected. Portions of Morocco could also be affected, but definitely flooding for that first system is going to be one of the biggest problems that we will see, because you're going to have heavy, heavy rain with any tropical storm. No matter if a hurricane, a tropical storm, tropical depression, or just a rain shower, it's going to bring a lot of rain. And so with this tropical disturbance, the possibility of it is increasing, because more and more models are agreeing on it. The possibility that is there, and we'll have to watch that closely and monitor it, because again, we could be seeing tropical storm conditions. Maybe, rain is always going to be one of the biggest threats with these tropical disturbances. And so, as this develops, we will closely monitor the development of these tropical disturbances. And the one with Italy also, we'll have to also watch that one in Italy, because it could also bring hurricane force wind gusts of up to 70, maybe even as high as 75 mile per hour wind gusts. Now again, it is about 9 days out, so we still have some time, but again, we're getting close to that time where we need to closely monitor and watch the development of these tropical disturbances. So, if anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding these tropical disturbances, potential of the tropical disturbances here in the Mediterranean Sea. Check the chat just in case anyone in fact is questioning. I want to make sure I get to everyone's questions, so I don't have to worry about anyone not getting their question answered. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now with those tropical disturbances. Now we're going to talk about the rainfall. Flooding is going to be a huge threat. That's the biggest threat I'm always worried about, especially in Italy. It's a very mountainous country. They have a lot of mountains in Italy. They'll be dealing with quite a bit of flooding in Italy, unfortunately, from this tropical disturbance. So let's take a look at that right now. Precipitation. So just in terms of precipitation, let's take a look at how much rain we're seeing here. So as you can see here, if we look at the peaks, we're seeing, this is in inches. There's nothing in the gray. Anything in the gray would be like 20 inches or more. But they're not seeing that. Mainly right here along the coastline. Mainly along this coastline right here, we could be seeing as much as 8 inches of rain. 8 inches of rain is a lot of rain. That's a lot of flooding. And you get the mountains, the rain starts coming down, it can make the ground loose, and it can cause mudslides or even landslides where the almost like the land starts falling apart. It can get really ugly really, really fast. It can be really, really bad. So right there along the coastline, could be some potential flooding, and even in Maine and farther north up here, could also be seeing 4 to 5 inches of rain in portions of Italy. But definitely lots of flooding is possible. So we're going to try to talk about every single possibility that these storms could go through, because this is a big possibility. This is, I'm worried about the tropical disturbance, the possibility of this tropical disturbance, because this is, this is dangerous. This is could be really, really bad for sure. So yeah, we got to talk about every single possibility. We're going to look at the European model, and of course we can actually look at the European model. Actually, I'm going to see if I can use this. Skip regions. European model. Lower dynamics, 850 millibar, heightened wind. Let's go right into this. See what we're looking at here. This goes in only 240 hours. It's actually still quite a long time from that. Okay, whatever. So you can see there's that first tropical storm. It also shows it 1,000 millibars. So you can clearly see tropical storm force winds of up to 40 knots. Looks like it's even been as high as 45 knots right here, which that would be winds excess of about 50 miles per hour. And it does appear to get even stronger. And then as you can see, it makes landfall and it quickly falls apart there in parts of northern Algeria. Libya's over here. Makes landfall there in Algeria. So it is definitely showing that first tropical storm developing. And it could certainly be a possibility, and it could be a big problem for sure. So, you know, we'll have to watch that tropical disturbance down here. That would be the first one we need to watch. I'm going to go through all the models, including the GFS. So let's get right. Let's also take a look at the GFS. GFS isn't always right, but sometimes it can be right. It is still in fact, a model we need to look over. We're going to look at over all the models. We're also going to look at weather US models and take a look at what they're showing. Because, you know, flooding could definitely be a big possibility. They sort of show a tropical disturbance trying to develop. Not really anything big. Not really showing actually anything really developing in the next 384 hours, or like 2 weeks. This is what the CMC is showing. CMC also sort of shows a storm trying to develop. And that's about it for that storm. You can kind of see it develops over here, makes landfall, and then kind of like comes out of here and just gets absorbed a lot. So that's, I'm going to go through these relatively quickly because some of these kind of don't really show a whole lot. It's mainly the European model, and the European model is generally the most accurate model. Okay? It's generally the most accurate model, so we'll have to watch that. And again, most of all models are showing some kind of an activity developing in this region, the Western Mediterranean Sea. So that's the first system we're going to have to watch for. And then we'll have to closely monitor this system. And then eventually we'll have to monitor the possibility of a tropical disturbance developing in the near Italy. Again, Italy is a very mountainous country. And so flooding over there would be very dangerous. Very bad. So this was the remnants of Apollo right here. As you can see, there it goes. It made landfall there. It had like winds maybe 30 knots, maybe up to 35 miles per hour upon landfall, 30 to 35 miles per hour. There you go. You can see it made landfall there in Turkey. Yeah, it was up here, it came down here, and then it went up here. So it started up here or right here. I don't know. It went like this. Very interesting storm. Anyway. So there's the possibility, again, of another tropical storm we want to watch. So again, it does develop that system right there. Again, the possibility of this system over here developing, it's a pretty good possibility. So again, that is a potential of a tropical storm that we need to watch out for, because this is going to be bad. This could potentially be. Oh, I need to remove him. Okay. Oh Lord, there's freaking fights going on in the chat. So, okay, I'm like getting distracted. Flooding. That's right. Flooding is going to be a big threat. That is the biggest threat and the biggest thing I'm mainly worried about. Now, I want to take a look and see what we're dealing with here in Morocco. Let me just zoom out here just a little bit. Look at that. 13 inches of rain. Just take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. 13.8. That's over a foot of rain in portions of Sicily, Italy. That could just be really bad. Yes, I'm going to look at all the models on weather.us. We'll be here for all night. Okay. Generally, I don't feel like looking at all the models, but I'm going to do it anyway because this is a very, very serious and very, very important to look at. Genuinely, I don't really want to look at all the models, but I don't really have an option. It's kind of important. People's lives are kind of, people kind of need to know what's going to happen. Alright. Oh, there's way too many models to look at, I swear. It's like, okay, I'll be here all night. Map selection, North America, Europe, and Africa. Free soon. Boom. I need to. Okay, so switch parameters. Oh, let's take a look and see what we're looking at here with terms of wind. Because we really need to take a look at all the wind speeds, all the storms. See what we're looking at here. I don't think going over all the models is that necessary, but whatever. Wish I could just click play. It would be so much easier. It's so painful. I have to like go through every hour. It feels like it's like, nope, not a storm. They have to come down here. How about here? Storm? Nope, not a storm. Okay. How about just come straight down here? That's when it looks like a possibility of a tropical disturbance does seem to develop. So again, it also does show the development of that tropical disturbance down here in northern Algeria. So as you can see, the possibility, I mean, a lot of the models, like I have said all day, the potential of a tropical storm in the Southwest Pacific is certainly a possibility and something we have to watch for, because could be pretty bad. So again, look at that. Look how strong this storm is. I mean, like, we're seeing 48 mile per hour sustained winds coming in from the north. Does appear to be weakening here. Doesn't seem to be as strong. We're only seeing barely tropical storm force winds of about 40 or so miles per hour. It's 47. So again, the possibility of this developing into a bad system is certainly there. Let's zoom back out. And it's almost like that storm in the other model was near Italy, just kind of blossomed out of nowhere. It was a very rapidly developing storm near Italy. So that could show there could potentially be in the future some unstable air, very unstable atmosphere, very low wind shear, very low dry air there in Italy. Near Italy, if most models do show it developing into a tropical disturbance. So the system right here is certainly, I mean, I'm generally worried about the development of the storm. It'd be bad. As far as we can go, yeah, already at the 13th, they haven't showed anything yet. Developing there, so I guess some models are showing it, some models aren't. Now, regardless of the development of these tropical disturbances right now, regardless of how strong it gets, because I need to go reach my mom need something. Regardless of the strength that the storm gets, the biggest threat from the storm is going to be rain. 100%. They're always the biggest threat from any kind of tropical system is rain. Flooding is the biggest, no matter what. So many people just underestimate a tropical depression, a tropical storm. Imelda in 2019, dumped 40 inches of rain. And it was a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm, and it dumped 40 inches of rain. It produced incredible amount of flooding across portions of southern portions of Texas, southeast Texas specifically. And it was only a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm, but a lot of people died from it because of how bad it was, the amount of flooding it brought. So that's something else we're gonna have to closely monitor and watch too, because it's pretty bad. So, you know, flooding is gonna be, it's huge. It's really bad. Yeah, 2021 is almost over, but I'm gonna close this off here because my mom needs something. She needs help with something, or she wants me to do something. I don't know. I wanted to get through all the models today, but very hard to look at every single model in an hour, 40 minutes, I should say. But the biggest threat from the storm is going to be flooding, like I've said. Biggest threat from these storms are going to be flooding regardless. Of wind speed. So that's it for today, guys. Again, stay safe out there. A wonderful rest of your morning, and I'll talk to you guys later. Gonna continue to talk about these potential tropical systems in the Mediterranean Sea, and we'll also be talking about the tropical disturbance Invest 93E in the East Pacific, and any other tropical disturbances that do pop up around the world. This has been your latest update, special update about around the world, the tropics, special update, Mediterranean Sea, potential tropical cyclones. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later this afternoon. Peace out.